Good evening everyone and welcome back to Off the Line Racing. We are back for round 5 here for Season 1 Tier 1. My name is Corey, I'm one of your two commentators for this evening. Join with me in the comms booth, it's Rob Starr. How are we doing, Rob?
I'm doing alright, it's definitely going to be a quite interesting one, poor attendance. But look, we've got the two champion fighters at the top here racing today. So it's definitely going to be a quite interesting race, These two are going to be fighting for the lead.
Absolutely correct. But we can take a quick look at the driver's standings to see what you were mentioning there. We have Oster leading by 56 points in his McLaren. AMS Knight just 1 point behind in that Mercedes. Has scored consistent points finishes from round 1 all the way down here to now round 5 as we go into Belgium. Josh B13, a driver taking a race wins and one of the quicker drivers, should I say, in this tier. Still just 1 point behind AMS Knight. So the front three are very close and looking to take what could be the lead. However, Josh B13 is not racing tonight. It will be Oster and AMS Knight looking to potentially lead the driver's standings. We have Tom H there putting his Ferrari in P4 with a bit of a points gap. 23 points separate him and Josh B. PW Jones in 5th, Luigi is big in 6th, Nick in 7th, Leon in 8th. One of the more recent drivers to join the grid has set some nice finishes, got himself up there into potential contention for race victories. Lanky one in 9th and Andres in 10th. There will do your top 10. But don't let us keep you waiting any longer, because qualifying has begun and we will get going into the action.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be quite interesting race today. You know, can be mixed conditions. So
Absolutely.
how will it go? You have some tracks which have been some mixed conditions, and it's a track which is known for rain around here. So you always want to prepare for your setups, your wet setups.
The track certainly is looking a little bit grim, as you say. Glitched Hen, the Ferrari, first out on the track, looking to set that first lap time as a really, really big wibble wobble there, trying to warm those tyres up. He's flicking the car left and right, really putting pressure on and getting the load into the tyres. Nice little display there from Glitched Hen as he finds himself coming around Brussels now, turn 8, and then we'll go through the left-hander of Jackie X, still on his 8 lap. So currently just trying to generate all the tyre temps he can. This is the longest track in the calendar, 7 kilometres long, and the Kemmel Straight being one of those kilometres alone. 19 turns, 10 to the left and 9 to the right. So it's a nice even balance between left and right corners, but of course, don't forget the double left-hander of Pujon. Very, very fast. You want to try and flat it round there. Try and get as much speed as you can, but sometimes your car just can't take it and you need to get yourself on that lift. Back away ever so slightly before you flick it around the double left-hander. Stavolo being a double right-hander, 14 and 15. He's very tight as well. Not a lot of runoff there as you'll find yourself collected in the gravel, and it will certainly ruin any hopes you've got of potentially taking pole position or getting into a decent qualifying position. But no, Glitched Hen comes around bus stop. Takes a bit of a wider line there to try and get the power down a little bit more. Try and gain that extra bit of length for the track to power on into La Source. Turn 1, slamming onto the brakes and round the right hander we go. Puts the power back down as he's flat to the floor now, trying to gain all the speed he can and set him up for the infamous Eau Rouge and Radion. Turn 2, 3 and 4. Done very nicely indeed as he will open that rear wing. He'll get DRS for the first time, technically, as he powers down the Kemmel Straight. And gets to turn 5 fairly nicely. Not too much curb there, but picks the curb up. A turn 6 in Lacombe. Fires it around turn 7 again. A place you can't really run off or you'll get collected in that gravel. Fires it round the right-hander. The sort of a U-turn of Brussels before he tries to collect himself once again and fire it around Jackie X. Really using maximum use of track limits there before he swings himself back onto the tarmac and fires around Pujon. Turns 10 and 11 completed perfectly. Still powers on to get himself around turns 12 and 13. Campus dispatched of. And he will finish second. Sector now coming round Stavolo. So of course it will be the time to beat. The first banker to be set. But I'm sure the Alpine lurking behind could potentially be Sid CTB1 and the Williams of Luget as well. Going to come in to do the banker laps as we follow Glitched Hen through Blanchemont before he slams onto the brakes for all the bus stop chicane. Fires it round to the left and gets the power down once again. Opens that rear wing to gain that little bit extra speed. Crosses a line for a 43.3. So first lap is done and dusted. Sid CTB1
goes across the line, goes behind Glitch by a whole tenth, but I'm pretty sure after there's a Williams behind. Like you said, Luigi is big, grabs pole by 1.3 seconds.
Oh, that is a huge margin though. 1.3 seconds separating P1 and P2. AMS Knight jumps ahead of Glitched in his Mercedes. So Will takes the second spot as we go on board with Andres now, who's on intermediate. Doing an intermediate installation lap just to get a bit of a feel for his setup. Tom H has invalidated his lap, so will not complete that lap.
As pretty sure that's
Leon.
Leon.
The V-carb invalidation.
Luke would be the next one, which hasn't invalidated. Going for a bus stop now for the final chicane. Not the tightest line, but crosses the line. Up to P3 he goes, so he's gone faster than some drivers, faster than his teammate as well.
Absolutely jumps ahead of his teammate by 3/10. So OTLR Luke looking to be in a good position there. Jumps ahead of the 43 runners. Glitched Hen of the Ferrari didn't have the lap he wanted, didn't have the lap he would have sorely needed to potentially put in contention for pole. I'm sure Glitched Hen of the Ferrari can pull out a quicker lap time than that. Leon is still pushing away.
Yeah, Leon's still going. He's doing very, very well right now. He's almost a lock up there. Up
Comes
to
around.
turn 9 now.
Yeah,
What can he
comes to
do?
Jackie Hicks. It's looking good. I guess that
Nice and
first lap
calm.
was a double out lap. So he did get that double out lap. The invalidation not bothering him too much. Getting that extra tyre temperatures. Heat is king, especially in those soft tyres. You need the compound to come to life. But he did get the purple sector 1. He does come around campus now. Dispatched of very easily to fire round towards Stavelot and finish second sector, which will be a purple sector 2. Now sets his sights on Blanchemont, turns 16 and 17. He's looking very nice so far.
Yeah, it's looking quick. There's an Alpine in front, but he's going into the pits last second, so he gets clear traffic. We're going up to the bus stop now. Chicane goes, and that gets it. And he keeps it quite calm onto the power now. Don't lose his array. He goes across the line up to P2. He goes almost grabbing that pole off Luigi.
Just a 10th away, and on the longest track on the calendar, it is very easily found. You can easily find maybe half a 10th in one corner, half a 10th in another. 19 turns to navigate, but Leon looking like he is a potential contender for pole position. Oster now, your championship leader, is on his flying lap. So he does set his sights on Blanchemont.
He is a one to watch right now. He is a one to watch. So he's almost finishing his lap now. Up to the bus stop chicane. Goes a bit wide onto the entry, but on the exit keeps it nice and calm. Of a Ferrari in the background there, drifting it. It also goes up to P4. Not the perfect lap.
Not the perfect
But he
lap
needed.
at all. He could have needed a bit better there. He is still 7 tenths away from the top 3. AMS Knight, though, has improved by a second. He is a 42.3 now. He's back out on an 8 lap.
I think the only one setting a flying lap right now is Pioneer because Glitch kind of screwed up going out the exit of bus stop and slow down. So I'm guessing he's doing 2 out laps right now as we see a Red Bull coming down the Camel Straight up to turn 5 now. Keeping it nice and calm, using the curbs on the entry and the exit there. Keeping it on the track limit. It's a bit of a wobble there.
Oh.
Up to the hairpin now. Turn 8 we go. Keeps it nice and calm.
Through Jackie Hicks, very nice. Keeps it on the track fairly decently. Doesn't use too much of the track limits available. Runs it wide in Pujon. Oh, he tried the infamous flat. We all know it came. You could see it on the entry. He was flat to the floor. Runs it wide. It was expected, but Pujon especially delivering. Oh, a bit of a snap there as well from the Red Bull driver. Again, Pujon is one of those corners that delivers quite a bit of runoff for you to take, but oh, someone's off the track. Who is off the track? AMS Knight completely off the track, trying to move out of the way for cars on a flying lap.
In the Ferrari, Tom Hayes has put purple sector 1. I've been watching him through sector 2. He's keeping it nice and clean so far. About to enter sector 3 now. What can his sector 2 will be? Almost losing the car the exit there, but purple sector 2 onto the final bit now. Around, going up to Blanchemont. Almost pushing the car down the straight. Can he get a slipstream from his teammate? Yes, he can. Can he? Cannot see. I don't know. Up to the bus stop chicane. Gets it nice and calm onto the exit now. This is where you struggle for traction. Across the line he goes. What can he do? Up to P4. It's not enough for to grab pole.
Still 4.5 tenths away from being anywhere near the top 3. However, AMS Knight is on a flyer. A driver in P2 in the current standings looking to shake up the order. It's Oster versus AMS Knight in this round as Josh has sat this one out. So the driver in P3, again, only separated 2 points away from P1 is Josh. He has sat this race out, so if it's a good points finish for AMS Knight and Oster, they'll certainly gain a bit of a gap and it'll be a fight for Josh to try and gain those back as we get to the closing rounds. However, next week we will see a break week, so no racing next Tuesday. We will be off and then we will be back for round 6. But in the meantime, we have Belgium to focus on. AMS Knight coming through campus, dispatching of turns 13 easily, fires it round 14 to set off the purple second sector. But is it just a personal best? He is 2 tenths up on his time currently.
Is looking real quick right now onto the final sector. You can't really find much time to improve him except from a bus up chicane. But if he carries on with his time gaining, it might be on pole here. It depends on the final few corners now. The turn 19 for the chicane gets a power zone. You kind of see the car losing it a bit, but he grabs it on pole by 2 tenths there. Well, actually, a tenth.
A tenth, almost sets it to a 10.5. That was very good, a very good lap, a very much needed lap for the Mercedes driver to jump up and take pole position and set himself up.
Williams here.
Lugi's coming to respond.
2 tenths. He might grab pole here.
Lugi responds.
He takes that position back. He says, "No, thank you. I'm taking that position back, and I'm sticking on pole again."
It was a good effort. Thank you. Better luck next time. Lugi snatching it away by another tenth. AMS Knight must improve by 1 more tenth. Can he gain 1 more tenth in his closing laps to try and push on? There's 5.5 minutes remaining of qualifying. There is still enough time to set another lap. But do you have it in you to potentially take pole position?
What's that's happening? Leon almost lost the car through turn 9 there. Kind of clipped the curb a tiny bit. So maybe, I think it's pulling out. I'm not sure, but I think he almost lost the car there. And the time, it would definitely lost it again.
He's really sending that car, really kicking that back end out. He's down by a tenth. It's not looking good. He backs out of that. He is down by a 10.5 on his lap, although it is a personal best sector 2.
Yeah, I think it was like turn 9 which kind of unsettled the car and lost all of the time there.
Too many snaps, too many wobbles, costing him the time that he needs. As I think this could be a double out lap for Oster, the McLaren, setting himself up for what could potentially be his final run. He's coming around Brussels now. Is there anybody else on a lap we can try and sneak on board with? Andres on a double out lap, so it seems.
As the drivers would be coming out now because this is a long track to go around, like you said, the longest track. So you want to go out early so you can have enough time to set another lap around.
On board with Lugi. Lugi just dived into the pits, therefore will hopefully be able to slap on some fresh boots and go again. If he feels unsafe, does he feel a potential threat coming? It could happen. Currently on board with Piney Penguin as he comes around Stavelot now and gets around 15, getting the power down to set himself up for Blanchemont, the Red Bull driver, to set a valid lap yet. But this could be the one. Don't count him out yet. He has drained all the battery. That back light is flashing. This could be a double out lap. Oster's retired. What has happened there? Has he binned in the pits?
He has.
He's binned in the pits. He's out of it.
The car. You couldn't see the tyre wheel on the car there.
Yet the front right has left the chat. He has done a runner and dispatched himself from the McLaren team. Does not want to be a part of this one. That was devastating. The McLaren cannot respond in any way. Cannot set that final lap. He will sit where he is. A 43 might not be good enough. Glitched Hen, OTLR Luke, lurking just a tenth behind that 43, are looking to break into the 42s and jump ahead. Do not let out for a Sid CTB1. He could potentially gain that half a second and push Oster down. Could be an absolute loss for the McLaren, but it's not looking good in terms of driver standings. He's going to have a fight on his hands for the remainder of the racing session to try and get back up the order. But for now, it's all playing to AMS Knight's hands to potentially take lead of driver standings if he can take early control of the race and pull ahead. Only a 10th away from pole position.
Yep, as we got the Alpine here of OTLR Luke here, starting his lap now, up to Aruji goes. About to start the Camel Straight, going down Camel Straight now. He just have a car down there, but I don't think he will reach it in time. But let's see what he can do into the first sector. Can he improve by 4 milliseconds? Yes, he can. It will still carry on pushing and pushing that car round the track so he can overtake Oyster in the leaderboard right now if he wants to finish higher up and get there. And try and finish in the points and stay on the track.
He does come around Jackie X corner very nicely, sets himself up for the infamous Pujon, turns 10 and 11, fires it around nicely, does keep it on the track, doesn't run too wide to take too much curb, he sets his sights now on campus, around 12 we go, comes around the left-hander, 13, done and dusted. You see the light flashing there as he regains a bit of battery in the lower speed corners. Much need, he's off the track, picks up the gravel, but it does not invalidate that lap. He is still pushing hard to try and finish the lap. He needs to improve. Can he jump up the order? Will he lose out dramatically from that issue, from that incident? He does back out of it, back out of that lap. He is done with qualifying. AMS Knight has started his lap. We will get on board with the Mercedes driver looking to potentially get into pole position. Can he do it? He's lurking behind P2, only 1 point separated in driver standings. Oster having a terrible issue in the final closing minutes of qualifying, puts himself out of qualifying and cannot respond in any way to take pole position. So it's all in AMS Knight's hands. Half a 10th up in sector 1, sets his sights through Lecombs, finishes that nicely, takes a little bit of curb but not too much as he fires through Brussels now. Really kicking that back end out to try and get that rotation easier. Kicks it wide as he fires through Jackie X now. Beautifully done, gets the power down and sets his sights on Pujon. Will he be able to flat it and keep on the power? He doesn't take too much curb as he comes around a 10. Round 11, dispatched off nicely. Will he improve in second sector as he fires onto campus? The right-hander done, the left-hander done. A corner that's known to really throw you off your line, throw you off your game. As you see him though, lock up the rear and kick that backhand out once again. He's barely 300ths of a second up on his time. The improvement might not be coming. His pole position, can it be pole position? It doesn't look like it can be. He's going to need one amazing third sector as he fires it around Blanchemont. Still pushing on to try and gain all he can in the bus stop chicane. Slams it on the brakes, fires it around the right, fires it around the left, gets back on the power to set his sights on what could be pole. It's not, doesn't improve. He lost out in the final closing minutes as well as Luger. The Williams did not improve on his lap and stays where he is. 1 and 2 lockout is done unless Leon can respond in any way, shape or form. He needs at least 2.5 tenths to do anything about it as he fires it into bus stop now. Crosses the line, barely a 10th up. But it's OTLR Luke who will jump up to 4th position, jumping ahead of Tom. Tom invalidating his lap. But does Glitch have anything to say about it? The Ferrari, who's known to have been a bit of a quick driver, does respond with a 22.5 on the line and jumps up to complete the second row. Wow, that was dramatic, and once again snatches it away from the Alpine driver. Luke just losing out in the closing minutes of qualifying. Andres, the last driver to finish his lap, and I don't think improved and stay where he is in P9. What a finish to the qualifying session there. The front two not improving. It was down for second row.
Such a close one, but Oyster crashing into that pit, Defo ruined his qualifying. So if he wants to, get up there and beat Ames Unite, he has to gain 5 or 6 positions to beat him. If he wants to stay in the lead of the championship, it's going to be a close one in the race. Would it be dry or wet?
Absolutely.
It depends how the drivers, plan it out? How good are you in the wet? How is your setup in the wet?
It was a very fine qualifying indeed, but your front and second row lockout to perfection as Glitched Hen just gets himself up there with AMS Knight. No, sorry, it was sorry, I forgot who was on P3 already. My bad.
It was Leon.
Leon the V cab is coming to the season and certainly shown some interesting pace. Can he push on and potentially challenge for it? I will bring us back to the commentators' booth while we have our mandatory session restart, which will just get rid of some of those nasty little bugs that we tend to see in the game. But on that note, we didn't get a good look at the drivers' standings. We can certainly take a good look at them now. But first, we'll take a look at the calendar of what lies ahead. So Belgium, where we are, race 5, before we have a week off, a nice bit of a rest where we have a bit of a breather and recharge our batteries and just relax for a wee bit. And then we move on to Austria, the Red Bull Ring, one of the fastest circuits on offer on the calendar. You're on the throttle so much, on the brakes, just for a shy amount of time. And then round 7 to China, Shanghai, one of my favourite tracks to watch. Not so much favoured to drive, but then we push on to what is my favourite track to drive and race, Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, my lovely track. I think it's 27 corners. It flows so nicely, S's left, right and centre. But then we set our sights on to what is normally a season finale, but in this case will not be a season finale. Abu Dhabi, Yas Marina, again one of my more favourite tracks and one of the ones that I love to see a race on. Silverstone, my home GP, as well as yours, Rob, I believe, as one of the more loving tracks, but set some beautiful racing indeed. So Lewis Hamilton setting the record for the most GP wins there, as we then finish off into Lagos, Sao Paulo in Brazil. So what do you think of the calendar, Rob? You excited for any racing specific?
Oh, I think Austria, because that DRS train is super strong, so it definitely brings the battle in closer and closer. If you're at DRS train, you can see so much battling happening, and it's like the shortest track on the calendar as well.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait for that one.
The shortest calendar with the least amount of turns, the least amount of corners. You are absolutely flat to the floor, certainly sets an open mind to what setups could be. A lot of drivers opting for a bit of a higher downforce setup in Austria to get that second sector gain. You can really fire it round that double left-hander. But again, moving on to what I would say is mine, is Jeddah. What I think will be one of the more challenging for some drivers. Very technical. You need to really focus on nailing the racing line, especially in Sector 1. Sector 2, more of a flat straight as you get around the final closing stages of Sector 1 and the opening stages. Sector 2, a couple corners, but then you're flat to the floor before you get to Sector 3. Once again, flat to the floor before you fire it round the U-bend final turn. 27, one of the more favoured corners of mine. You really need to get it close to the wall on your entry and your exit. If you run it wide, you can lose time on your initial entry. But I love everything about Jeddah, and I'm certainly looking forward to round 8. But now we look on to the drivers' standings. Oster leading again, 56 points. Had a terrible qualifying session, managed to drop it in the pit lane. I suspect he might have locked his brakes up. It's easily done. That pit line comes fast. It's a 90-degree left turn into the pit lane, so you need to slam on the brakes, and if you lock it up and hit that outside wall, certainly will take your tyre off. So sets himself down into P7, what I believe I saw. He can only hope to try and regain all those positions back in the race. AMS Knight got himself into P2 in qualifying. He's looking to potentially take lead of the driver's standings if he can pull it off and keep Oster behind, but it is going to be a fight for Oster. Josh B13 not racing, so the front two can certainly bridge a bit of a gap, but it does put him under a bit of threat from Tom H. If Tom H can get some nice points here, if he can potentially get himself up onto the podium, if not take a race victory. He was looking fairly decent in his opening part of qualifying, but missed out in the end with an invalidation. It was Glitched Hen who took a second row position. in the qualifying, but it's PW Jones in 5th, who will no longer be able to drive with us, but he will stay there until he is surpassed in the points. Lugi is big in P6, a driver who took pole position here today by a 10th, just managed to find that extra 10th over AMS Knight, the driver who's looking to take the driver's standings lead. So could Lugi take a win here and potentially put himself back in the fight, anywhere close to the top 3 to try and fight it back? IIT Nick, another driver not racing here tonight, will potentially lose out on some much needed points to put himself in that contention. The Williams driver only on 22. Leon in 8th, Lanky 1 in 9th, and Andres doing your top 10. We'll take a look at the constructors ever so quickly. McLaren leading the charge. Oster doing his part, putting the McLaren to the top. 82 points leading, with the V-Carbs lurking behind. That'll be Josh and the new rising talent of Leon, who's put himself up there in contention for potentially fighting against AMS Knight. He did take P3 in qualifying, starts the second row off. The Mercedes sit there in 3rd position, 55 points. That will be all thanks to AMS Knight doing it for the Mercedes team. Go on, mate, my team. And love to, well, not my team, but my team to drive. Not the team I support, but love to drive their car. Williams Mercedes in P4. Ferrari chasing behind. Glitched Hen potentially could put them up there and jump ahead of the Williams. But don't forget, Lugi is big on pole position, looking for victory here in Spa-Francorchamps. We Aston Martin in P6 on 37 points. Kick Salvers 33, Alpine on 24, Haas 16, and the Red Bulls yet to score points as we head into round 5. So all in all, things are looking certainly spicy, especially with the front 2. AMS Knight looking to get ahead and jump Oster in the standings, but Oster could potentially fight it back. 22 laps of the longest track to navigate in the calendar. It's going to be a spicy one. What's your thoughts on that, Rob?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a spicy one, you know. Got a whole weekend to go, and this race is definitely going to be a quite interesting one. You know, AMZ Knight on map, front grid. Oysters in P7, he needs to catch up, get in front, and try stay in the lead on the standings.
Absolutely. Oster needs to make all the positions he can here on the race start, if not in the first stint of the race. So when the second stint and the strategies start to come out and people start putting their thinking cap on and move on to that pit stop and second stint, it certainly opens the door for interesting racing, especially for the undercut. I suspect the undercut's going to be mighty powerful here, but you will lose out in the closing laps. This track being ever so long will certainly cost you out in your tyre wear. But now the race is getting underway. The drivers are now on the grid and we shall move into the race. So now we wait for the drivers to make sure they have their setups loaded after we have that mandatory restart. The lobby restart to try and mitigate any in-game bugs. We know that the game has been rather glitchy in a certain part, so we do this for the benefit of everybody to get a nice, clean racing experience and to bring you, the viewer, nice, clean racing. Dry to wet, says the weather. So this is certainly going to be interesting off the start. It's going to be a dry to wet, as we have confirmation in the Twitch chat. Mixed condition racing. It's going to be interesting indeed. What's your thoughts, Rob? Second stint, is this really going to spice things up when the rain comes, when that rain falls here in Belgium?
Definitely. It all depends on, you know, the setup, how well it will work in both conditions, and when you're going to pit for the tyre change. It's a completely different idea you got to think about. It's two things you want to put together and try and make it work.
Absolutely indeed, but no, we are having a bit of a wait for players. Can confirm Belgium has been removed from Season 2 calendar. That is nice to know. Could potentially be a track that the drivers are not liking. We are still seeing a waiting for players, even though we've had that bit of a restart. Are the drivers not particularly ready, not particularly happy with their setups? We can only
Probably not after seeing him in mixed condition.
things could be looking good. We can only hope things are looking good, but we are now 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And the lights are out, and away we go. The Williams on the right-hand side, getting that pole position, managing to pull over and lock out that outside line as he fires it around into turn 1. But it's Leon who got the jump on AMS Knight. Jumps ahead into P2, but don't count out Glitch 10. The Ferrari then had a look and made himself large in the Mercedes mirrors. He's getting mighty close as we come up towards Eau Rouge and Radion, getting the power down on towards the Kemmel Straight. The DRS not enabled this lap. It will be enabled next lap. Will be nice to see. Nice to see the close action racing when the DRS gets enabled. It looks like Leon now could potentially put in the pressure on for a move for the lead. We shall take a quick look at the tyres there to see who's opted for what strategy. We see one driver on the harder tyres. Andres down on 9th, going for a longer stint. This could be all down to strategy. Then the front 3 running the medium tyres. Glitch 10, OTLR Luke on the softs. Then 3 more medium runners, and then Piney Penguin running the softs. So it's a mixing strategy so far. We see drivers certainly getting off the line very well. Off the line racing, if you would. Sorry for the little pun. Had to throw it in there. Everyone getting away cleanly. Only 10 drivers filling the grid, but everybody's fairly close in what could only be described as will be a DRS train. OTLR Luke, though, having a little look at the rear diffuser of that Ferrari, looking for any insight and technical tips that he could potentially take back to the Alpine garage. He got awfully close in there. You could have took a picture.
Yeah, right now it's looking quite close, but let's wait to the Camel Straight when DRS would be open, and we can actually see
he
finally.
moves into bus stop chicane there. Ouster trying to put the pressure on, jumps ahead into P5. He's made 2 places up already. Set sights on the Ferrari Glitch 10 as a look to the inside, but backs out of it. This is not the place to do it. He needs to wait for his opportune moment, but no, the DRS will be enabled. The drivers shall receive it on the Kemmel Straight. This puts Lugi under attack from Leon.
Yeah, so Oyster's gained 2 positions so far. So he's doing amazing right now. You see Leon grabbing that overspeed, overtaking Lugi on Camel Straight. Maybe AMZ Light can join and goes down the inside through the chicane and grabs that position. Easily done. So we see Glitch and Oyster fighting back there, but Glitch keeping that position well kept.
Absolutely. Glitch just holding it there in P4. Had to fight from what is an charging McLaren of Ulster. But AMS Knight benefiting from what has been the DRS and got past Lugi. Lugi dropping 2 positions, only sits there in P3 at the moment. Leon has bridged a 6/10 gap to AMS Knight there, looking to push on and potentially break that DRS. Can he do it into the final sector? It was almost 7/10 there as we come into campus, but as we enter Stavelot, it's dropped back down to 5/10 and back up to 6/10. It's just fluctuating between 5 and 7/10 at the minute. Leon doing everything he can to potentially break that DRS and pull away. Can he press on and take lead and keep the lead, so should I say, and bridge a gap, leaving AMS Knight vulnerable to Lugi? Lugi not too worried, just lurking behind, staying patient. Still 20 laps remain. So it's all a patient game here now as Glitch 10 is back under attack from Ouster. Ouster just having to pull back out of it. All in all, the drivers are looking fairly squared away, very clean. Oh no! Disconnect for Lugi, getting back in. Big desync issue. We saw him drop all the way down to P8 with a big, huge lag spike. Get that driver back in this lobby. Leon's off! Ran wide! Completely off coming through Radion there, through Eau Rouge and Radion. Too much speed, too much curb. But back on the track safely, no collisions. A glitch there, moving under braking potentially, closing the door for Ouster, a bit of contact, but Ouster there looking to gain that position away from Glitch 10. Glitch 10 benefiting from that disconnect and holds out P3 at the minute. I know Glitch 10 has been a driver to be smart and wait for opportunities, potentially completely rely on strategy. So, in this stage, he knows that he potentially doesn't have the pace to push on and catch the front 2. If he does have the pace, now would be the time to do it. He is on the soft tyres, the front 2 being on the medium compound. So those soft tyres are going to burn away a lot quicker. And will he opt for potential boxing earlier, or will he try and push a bit later? If he can keep with the front two, it will be the optimum strategy. A driver known for using his brain and using strategy completely to his advantage, relies on it in a way in every race. But Tom H now looking to push on against OTLR Luke and gets a move done into bus stop chicane. Oh no, Oyster's dropped it at a moment and loses out 3 positions, drops down to P7. It's a Ferrari 3 and 4. Tom H just saw that open door and went for it. Took it completely. Are you still with us, Rob?
Yep, Lukey is biggest having problem with his Wi-Fi, and his Wi-Fi is gone out, but
oh no, what a disaster.
He can't really get back in.
He was looking so strong for a race victory, but just has connection issues. His Wi-Fi has gone down, and unless that comes on quickly, 3 seconds behind those front runners now, he's a sitting duck.
Yeah, he's dropping behind, but if he rejoins, he can still grab some points, you know, as it says only 10 people, but it won't be much points, but still some points on the leaderboard. But as we focus on the leader right now, Tom dropping that time from Glitch now, 1.3, so it's not at DRS, so we will be attacked by 2 Alpines and a McLaren.
Absolutely, he is open doors for attack. The Ferrari did well to get up into P4. Excuse me. But now needs to try and push on and try and regain DRS on his teammate. His teammate cannot afford to slow down. Glitch 10 needs to stay with the front two. Optum, he's gone for that soft tyre strategy off the start, so he needs to stay with them. Try and go a little bit longer and then benefit on the medium tyre in his second stint. I wonder if a 2-stopper is on the table. Tom H has picked up 3 seconds, so that infamous track limits has caught him out and will now completely lose out and will drop down by my reckoning all the way down to P7.
Well, Tom played the team game defending these drivers behind, so his teammate Glitch can fight the people in front. So it won't cause much of a battle if Tom can keep them behind. But Oyster will probably be the biggest problem here, as he's probably one of the quickest ones here.
Here he goes. There goes Oyster. Almost 3 wide hits, Tom H. He's off the track, but rejoins. Picks up another 3 seconds, surely. That's going to the steward's office. Oyster just made it 3 wide. The Alpine of OTLR Luke just made it through. And then contact was made with the Ferrari. Tom H had to take to the escape road. And surely the stewards will be taking a look and a review at that one.
Definitely, but after that incident, the gap's kind of got a bit bigger as Lukey's big has finally joined back, but he's quite far from the, the group. So right now, all you can do is try to catch up to Sid and overtake him and try to catch up. But it's a massive gap as we go back to the lead. It's looking quite close as Leon's right behind AMZ9. So let's see what it can do onto the DRS straight after the bus stop chicane.
Absolutely, Leon's getting very close coming through bus stop there, looking to potentially gain here in La Source into turn 1. If not, get close enough to set himself up for the run through Eau Rouge and Radion and onto the Kemmel Straight and open that rear wing. That 1 kilometre long straight, it makes it very easy to pass any car in front of you. 2.5 tenths separating, and he's closing. That gap just breaks below. Now, as he sets himself up on the Kemmel Straight, opens that rear wing, swings it to the outside line, potentially draining a bit of battery there, and does make the move. Easy pickings before we even get close to Lecom, as he fires it into turn 6. Gets it around turn 7 now. Nice and easily done.
Tom and Oyster fighting as Oyster gets the switch back, but hitting Tom off there onto the gravel as Luke going down the inside now. Bit of a bump there from the drivers, but all not all clean there, no wing damage, but looking super close between these drivers. So we see Sid at the back there, dropping up that DRS, not able to keep up with these drivers. But Luke picking up the 3 second time penalty now. So it looks like he's struggling on those soft tyres already. He's got no more grip left on those tyres. But he's done a very good job holding on those soft tyres, staying with the medium runners so far.
Absolutely, he's done very well to stay within that fight. Oster, no, the man who's been stuck behind Tom H for so very long. Few controversial contact moments, pushing, bumper barging, wheel banging, hard racing. No, gets ahead, but Tom H is still lurking behind. Luke picking up that 3 seconds now puts him on level playing field with Tom, as I'm sure he'll be looking to send that 3 second he got from the contact with Oster to the steward's office. So we can only assume that it's level playing field. Oster, without that time penalty, will stay in P4 and push on to try and catch the Ferrari. Glitch 10 is doing very well on that soft compound tyre. 6 laps completed as we get on to lap 7. As we push on to the Camel Straight, just lurking behind, waiting for his opportunity, making the most out of the soft compound tyre. Oh, here he comes, Glitch 10, sends it to the inside line of Leon, looking to potentially make the move. Leon defending like a lion and a champion, keeps Glitch 10 behind. It's AMS Knight who retakes control of the lead, but Glitch 10 is doing everything he can to try and put the pressure on the front three, making it known that he is there lurking behind and will take any opportunity given to him.
Yeah, right now this is great for AMS Knight. You know, got that 3 second gap to Oyster, and with these top three fighting each other and switching DRS, it's giving the gap a bit more bigger if they can try to work together. But Glitch, guessing there's no stuck in there, that battle, trying to get that position. He might be able to on the next lap when they all right next to each other. Look at that gap, close and close and close, getting closer. So with that DRS zone on that start and finish line, it'll be really close. And then onto the Camel Straight, it's going to be super close up to turn 5. It might go up to 3 wide or 2 wide. Double overtake on Knight.
Absolutely, you expect to see it. It's some good foresight there from you, Rob. You see the planning of the lap to come as we get on to lap 8 now. 7 laps completed. But Glitch 10 still doing very well on those softs as they know. Push on out to La Source and set sights onto Eau Rouge and Radion, which will set themselves up for the Camel Straight. 1 kilometre long DRS straight to maximise the speed. Really top end that car and get all the speed you can out of it. Is anybody close enough for a potential move? Nobody is. AMS Knight has kept the position so far. The driver's potentially just using that DRS to benefit and potentially recharge the battery. Ricardo going for a Ricky Chiado having a bit of a planning foresight. Lap 8 undercut from Henry. Potentially. He's done very well so far on those soft compound tyres. 7 laps completed, staying with the front 2 drivers who have provided lap after lap of overtaking manoeuvres. It is Oster and Tom H battle at the back for what could potentially be the P4 finish as Oster's picked up 3 seconds in penalties. So far, things are looking to spice up. It's not looking good for your championship leader. It's all looking good for the current P2 driver in the standings, AMS Knight. As it stands, will take lead of the driver's standings, who's put up a stellar performance here in Belgium.
You know what I realised? Glitch is losing time on that straight, but through Sector 2, it catches up a lot if you realise. Because on the straight, he loses so much time because he hasn't got that straight line speed. But through Sector 2, you kind of see him catching up to the leaders again.
So there's
maybe
difference in setups.
For high downforce then.
Yeah, completely. High downforce. Different setups. Certain drivers opting for different driving styles, but we see Glitch 10 goes another lap. So a bit of foresight from Ricky there has not gone the way he thought. As 8 laps have been completed now, the soft tyres still going strong, or at least Glitch 10 thinks they're still going strong, as OTLR Luke dives into the pits to get off those soft medium tyres.
Yeah, looks like he was
Soft
struggling,
tyres, soft
losing at
medium. What did I
time.
just say there? I had a bit of a brain
Soft.
wobble moment. Soft medium
Pretty sure he
tyres.
said soft, yeah.
I said soft medium tyres.
Oh, I didn't even realise.
Brain wobble.
uh,
We're back on there as Luke gets past Penguin, dispatches of him very nicely on the Kemmel Straight, had the DRS and made it easy into look on. We're back on with the front runners. Glitch 10 now's dropping a little bit of time. Maybe those softs are burning away. Was lap 8 the lap to box? Is now the time? Lap 9, will we see a Ferrari dive into that pit lane?
Pretty sure mediums would last to the end, but the hards would as well.
I gotta give it to you,
Which one
Rob.
do you want to go for?
I gotta give it to you, Rob. That was a good spot from you. As you see, Glitch 10 gain back in the corners through Stavelone Campus. Close that gap up once again. So he does lose a bit of time in certain corners, but gains it back in the slower speed corners. He does have that higher downforce, can attack him at a slightly faster speed than the front two. Again, that gap opening up as we get through La Source and set sights once again for the 10th time. Eau Rouge and Radion has seen a lot, and I mean a lot, of history. Oster flying in the softer medium tyres. Sorry, had to dip.
But you know what I see in the background? The McLaren and the Ferrari catching up.
Oh, Glitch 10's at a moment. Those soft tyres are not doing well.
But the Oyster and Tom are catching up though. So it shows the leaders are going slower. Looks like we kind of not sure what happened to them, but Glitch has now dropped behind the leaders and now joined up with Oyster and Tom Hates. So it looks like Glitch does need to pick this lap because it's right now we can see his performance dropping and dropping after seeing that kind of spin.
That is a proper Ferrari strategy. Thank you for that, Ricky. Give me a little giggle though, mate. He should have boxed. He's really losing out on those soft compound tyres, and we see Oster now almost go through the Ferrari driver as he ghosted. But I've got to call it out. D Summers has joined the chat, so no, I can't say anything stupid because this man is lurking and waiting for my mistakes. He will clip anything and everything that I say that is incorrect and will hold it against me, as he's already mentioned those softer medium tyres.
Well, you should clip the terrible Ferrari strategy.
There goes Glitch 10.
Into the pits now. I think it's a bit too late to pit for those soft runners. But yeah, it kind of struggled on lap 10. But it was to see almost a change for the lead up to a Rouge. But no, but AMC Knight will have that DRS flap open.
We have. Goodbye. I was on that like a rocket. Well, again, halfway through the race, we were expecting mixed conditions, and the sky is starting to darken. That sun has gone away. The clouds are coming.
And guess what? Glitch has gone into the softs.
Softs?
Softs.
So he's expecting the rain to come.
Rain to come.
Ooh. So, with the sky getting a little grey, that has allowed Glitch to box and swap onto soft compound tyres. He can do that because if the rain does come and he swaps to those intermediates, the tyre change, the tyre compound change has been completed.
Yes, it has, but it's definitely got to mess up some people's strategies. Let's see how they do. But, you know, but I think the medium runners might be able to have it, you know, have a perfect strategy, the one-stop strategy. But as we see, Leon going to the pits now. So maybe he's gone to the soft runners, unless you would log on hards to the start and wait for the rain to appear.
No, that is the good call. That is a good call. he is boxed off to try and cover off Glitched Hen. As we see Leon and as we see Luger as well into the pits also. So now Oster, AMS Knight and Oster not pitting as well as Tom H, but Tom H now looking to keep the pressure on. Oster has caught back up to that McLaren and still within the fight, even though Oster has took off like a missile and gained a lot of time. He lost out with that bit of a battle with his teammate Glitched Hen and has brought Tom H straight back into that battle.
Yep, right now Oyster and Tom H need to work together if you want to catch up to AMZ Knight, which Oyster really needs right now after having a poor performance so far in the race and quali. Crashing into the pit entry there, locking up as we did see in qualifying, but 3 seconds. We really need to work together if we want to catch up. The AMZ Knight is still clear in that lead, chilling and relaxing in front of Oyster.
Absolutely. AMS Knight now trying to push the medium tyres as long as possible, I suspect. Is the weather going to change? Is the rain going to actually show itself? The sky getting ever darker as the laps unfold, but the more laps that partake, depending on how bad the rain will be. Will we see the crossover? Maybe boxing for the hard compound tyre is not a bad call.
We see Oyster going to the pits now. Let's see what Leon has gone on to. He's gone into the soft. Same as Oyster, so soft therefore won't make it to the end, so there is a chance for rain to come. Softs will last to the end, but they would struggle as we've seen Glitch struggling on 10 lap old soft tyres.
They will have to box again, or it will be absolutely dreadful. Glitched has no choice but to box again. He's gone for a very bold strategy indeed and gone for a double softs. So he is expecting the rain to come, but in the meantime, 9 laps remaining of the race. Will it actually come? Don't forget, this is the longest track on the calendar, so these laps are very long indeed. Again, only 13 laps have been completed, and we've been here for quite a while yet. But we still await to see these ever-changing conditions unfold, if they are to unfold at all.
But Glitch does get that fastest lap, so if rain does come, he does get that extra point he might need in the standings, as Tom is losing to AMZ Knight, so you can kind of see AMZ Knight does have that pace to be in that lead.
Luigi there, making it easy. Andres sort of let him pass there. He knows that that is not his fight. Andres happy with just finishing in some points positions here. He knows that the Williams is a faster driver. Luigi picks up 3 seconds. Oh, damaging his race a little bit more. Just running that tiny bit wide. Track limits are becoming an issue for some drivers. AMS Knight dives into the pits, goes onto the soft compound tyre. They will go to the end if the rain does not come. So as it stands, with Leon jumping ahead, Glitched Hen also jumping ahead as AMS Knight now. Oh, he's hit the wall! No! AMS Knight has collected himself on the exit. He was not paying attention and has hit the wall on the exit. Surely that is damage on his front wing.
It is.
And has lost out
On the
to
left-hand side
Oster.
end plate.
The race
Look on the
dynamic flipped
right-hand side.
on its head. He's
lost an end plate.
That front left end plate has just disappeared. Completely flipping the race dynamic on its head. AMS Knight looking fairly strong for victory. Could potentially now lose out to the McLaren. And Oster will maintain championship lead unless the Ferrari of Tom H has gone for the bolder strategy. Will the rain come? He's run it wide in Poo on there. Leon trying to push on and catch the Ferrari.
But if the rain don't come now, Tom's strategy would not work at all because he'll be losing position after position. So Leon's in that DRS now of Tom H already. So Tom looks like Tom's struggling there.
Tom conceded.
Tom
Tom completely conceded.
So it looks like Tom's not doing well on those mediums. So actually, he's got wing damage. I'm right. On the left-hand side of the wing. His
Oh,
end
he's
plate
lost
is
his
gone.
front right end plate. The end plate has dispatched itself from that Ferrari. He's had a moment and collected the wall at some point. Lost that end plate. Dives into the pits to swap it out. It will be Glitched Hen who inherits P2. But Leon, that's why he conceded. It was not his fight. He didn't have the capability to defend in any way, shape or form and would only cost himself more time. Conceded the position to Leon. So good sportsmanship there from Tom H. But will drop down all the way down to 9th position as he swaps that front wing. 7 laps to go and the rain still hasn't come. Glitched. This is a mighty bold strategy, but you need to box at some point. A battle there down the Kemmel Straight as we fire into turn 5. Oster jumping ahead of AMS Knight. The damage doing him a little bit dirty, but he's still staying mighty close to the McLaren. Still within a fight, driving very well despite the condition of his car.
Yeah, definitely. But if it does rain, the strategy would definitely help him with a new wing damage, but it's definitely going to slow him down with that plus 5 second pit stop. But let's see what happens in the rest of the race. Will it stay dry or will it rain? Unless you see the tiniest bit of rain at the end of the race as well, to switch up some people's strategy or staying out.
It is all on the table, my friend. It is potential for anything to happen. The rain could come in the closing few minutes and destroy the grip, but nobody's got the time to box. You never know what is to happen in the final closing laps. There are still 7 laps to go. So it could switch on its head. It is the longest track on the calendar. I've said it so many times already. But I'm going to say it again for any new viewers joining. 7 kilometres long, 19 turns. Oster taking fastest lap. And he's now looking to pass Glitched Hen. And he does. Down into La Source. I guess Glitched Hen conceded that. Being smart about it. Bit of DRS chicken for the Ferrari driver. We love to see the strategy unfold as he passes the DRS detection point and will get that DRS on the McLaren. Oh, the screen freeze potential. He dropped back a bit there, but does have that rear wing open, pushes on to retake that position from the McLaren. Says thank you very much. Try again next time. AMS Knight just closes the gap up. Does not have the downforce to push on through the corners. Completely relying on that DRS to stay within the pack, to stay within a potential striking distance for any last minute lunges, any last minute bravery. But the lack of downforce is going to destroy that front left tyre. It's going to burn it away dramatically compared to the front two, who do not have any damage impeding their race. Leon leading by 5 seconds, looking victorious at this part, in this stage of the race. Still 6 laps to go. But he's got a 5 second gap and a strong gap indeed.
Yeah, but right now, I know Glitch is in P2, but he's still in a worse position because he needs to switch compound unless he'll get disqualified in the race. So, driver, he needs that rain to come now, or his strategy has blown over.
Absolutely. All he's doing at the minute, all this fighting, he's just etching that gap ever more to Leon out in front. The V-carb absolutely sending it. When will Glitched Hen choose to swap tyre compounds? Will it be in the final lap? He'll have to do it in the final lap if that rain doesn't fall. But now he's going to get past twice. Oster and AMS Knight looking to send it into La Source, and it's Oster who benefits. AMS Knight having a moment there, potentially locking up, dropping the position to Glitched Hen also. Oster now jumping up into P2, but they've dropped another second to Leon, who benefits from all this nice clean air with nobody putting pressure on him, can just focus lap after lap and bridging that gap. 6.2 seconds he leads. Glitched Hen now pushing on the Kemmel Straight with the DRS to get side by side. Oster trying to defend. There's contact between the two as he tries to fight back into Lacombe. Looking for potential switchback as Glitch tries to defend like a lion. Moving left and right, defending that position. Oster sends it side by side into Brussels. but Glitch still defending into Jackie Hick's corner and stays ahead of the McLaren. The McLaren doing anything and everything he can to get ahead, trying to send it side by side into Pujon. Glitch don't think he was left adequate space, runs it wide to be safe. Oster still fighting on to try and take that P2 position away. This entire lap has been one monumental battle between McLaren and Ferrari. Your championship leader looking to take lead of the race to try and push himself, take P2 in the current standings of the race. Had another bit of a brain wobble. Looks to try and take it in Blanchimont as he does. Glitchtain conceding, potentially playing a bit of DRS chicken once again, but backed out a little bit too much and has opened the door for the Mercedes to get past. As he does make it easy pickings, but don't forget he has that front wing damage, so he is going to be slow in the corners. Glitch 10 dropping 2 positions though. Oster P2, AMS Knight P3. But he will be in the prime position to get a double dose of DRS. His rear wing will be open. AMS Knight's rear wing will be open. He'll slipstream all the way on the Kebble Straight as we fire through Radion, Eau Rouge and Radion, and get that rear wing open onto the Kebble Straight. Glitch 10 looking to set himself up for what could be a double overtake in Lecom. Doesn't set himself up as the Mercedes makes it easy pickings. Not so easy. The McLaren looking to challenge back once again on lap 18 as we come through Lecom. This McLaren is certainly got his elbows out. Oh no, there's contact there between the Mercedes and Glitchstein. Glitchstein losing that front left end plate. Certainly picking up the damage and costing himself dramatically in the race. Just as we got through Brussels, the McLaren putting the pressure on the Mercedes having to back out a little bit more. Glitchstein caught out, backed off the brakes a bit too early, hit the rear end of the Mercedes driver and lost that front left end plate. It's all falling away.
Definitely, but you can see there now is Lucas Big has finally caught up to these after fighting after fighting after fighting. Now, the Williams there, who disconnected at the start of the race, caught up now to his drivers in front after trying to catch up after these lot were battling. But 2 of these drivers do have wing damage, lost their end play. How will they act out? Will they stay out? Yes, they do. How will they carry on the race? Can they save the pack or not?
Well, it's anybody's game between the front from P2 down to P5. Lugia, a man who disconnected at the start of the race, dropping all the way almost to the back of the field, gets back in after a Wi-Fi cutout and gets himself challenging for what could potentially be P2. But as it stands, Glitch 10 will inherit it. He does not have any time penalties as it stands, but there are still 3 laps to go, 4 including this one. Oh no, 3 laps including this one, sorry.
Yeah, 3.
Including this one as we push on through Lecom. Glitch 10 will inherit a P2 podium position as long as you can keep it on the track and doesn't pick up that infamous 3-second penalty. Oh,
Right
bit
now,
of a snap from the Ferrari driver there on the exit of Brussels as he managed to keep himself collected through Jackie Hicks.
But right now, Glitch ain't in the battle because he's still got a pit, remember, for that other compound.
He has, yes, of course.
So right now, he's not in the battle for anything. He'll still get a point, but how far down would he drop? Would he pit for a new wing, which will take longer, but would he, pit again without a new front wing? Depends how you want to act out.
Well, Leon leading by just under 7 seconds. It has been nothing but racing masterclass for the VCAB driver. And if he crosses the line victorious, he will be the 5th driver to win a race in 5 races. Every race this season has seen a different driver take that P1 top spot, race win. So far, this has been anybody's season. But it's the race he needed dramatically to propel him dramatically in the standings for what could be a second half of the season championship charge for the VCAB.
Yes, let's just pit for the new flashy mediums, but don't switch his front wing because it might, lose him a lot of time. So he's right behind Sid now. So let's see what Glitch can do behind Sid with front wing damage.
In the meantime, we look on to P3. AMS Knight looking to try and catch Oster. These two, don't forget, are battling away for what could be lead of the drivers' standings. But as it stands, Oster, leading against AMS Knight, will maintain his lead in the drivers' standings, and AMS Knight will only extend his points in P2. Luger getting some good points to propel him up the standings a little bit more, but Leon will benefit the most with a race victory here. He has really done everything he needed to. He's dropping a little bit of time as Oster really propels that McLaren, but runs it wide there as we exit Stavelot. Doesn't pick up any penalties that I saw, but does lose out a lot of time to the Mercedes driver behind. AMS Knight there lurking behind. Sid picks up 3 seconds in penalties. Not losing out too much. He will not lose out anything and will sit there in P8 position as it's 11 seconds to Andres behind. But now, Oster will be under attack from the Mercedes driver. AMS Knight looking to push on. Will have the DRS as we get through Eau Rouge and Radion and onto the Camel Straight. So La Source has been dispatched. Luger has chose to box. Gone into the pits. That is an interesting call. It will put Luke up into P4. He will not complain for that. Get some extra points.
So retires in a pit. So if the drivers behind him would have overtaken him, he would finish in P10. He only grabbed 1 point in the Alpine. So we see MC9 and Oyster still fighting for that P2, but right now Oyster does have that advantage for the front wing. They don't have a front wing damage.
Absolutely. I've got to say though, AMS Knight has been driving beautifully to keep his car right there behind the McLaren, even with that front wing damage. AMS Knight picking up that damage, doing very, very well so far.
Yeah, but Oyster's on that 1 lap extra tyre age thing. Oh, yeah,
the tyre wear on the front left is going to be dramatically higher than Oster. He's doing very well to stay there within a striking distance, but he's losing a bit of a time there. Had a bit of a moment through Campus and Stavelot, but he is still within DRS striking distance. He will benefit a little bit. Losing his end plate will certainly lessen the downforce on his front wing, picking up a bit more straight line speed as you see him propel through Blanchimont. As we get into the bus stop chicane, he closed that gap up, gained 3/10 through Blanchimont as a bit of a wobble on the exit, trying to get the power down the pit straight towards turn 1. La Source fires it round the right-hander and gets the power back on, looking to charge on. The final lap unfolding, but as it stands, Leon will take victory. A very clean, easy race for him. But now, the fight for P2 unfolds. AMS Knight has the DRS. He needs to drain his battery, give it everything he's got.
But I think it's enough as Oyster stays in that lead, but there's one long straight in Sector 3. No DRS. All about that straight line speed. He's got more DRS on that straight to overtake each other. But right now, it's Oyster's chance to pull away as he does have a full-on front wing on his car right now. Not as AMC Knight, he does not. He's missing an end plate. But right now, Oyster's losing him right now. 7 tenths. Up and down, 6 tenths, getting closer and closer. But I think it's enough. But right now, it depends. You can keep it on the track. You can keep it clean right now.
Oster throwing everything into this last lap. Almost breaks a second. 8 tenths, just shy of 8 tenths. Now dropping to 7 tenths, fluctuating between the times in the order, almost getting it up to a second gap. He knows that AMS Knight has the straight line speed in Blanchimont. He's done everything he needs to bridge that gap through Blanchimont, to push on to bus stop chicane. But it will be Leon to cross the line here and set his V-carb on for victory. The 5th winner in the 5th race in OTLR Season 1 as Oster keeps himself in P2 ahead of AMS Knight, and the driver's standings will stay as they are. Leon winning here for the first time in OTLR and will be the 5th different driver to stand in that top spot. Beautiful driving. Lugi jumping ahead of Glitch 10 for P4. But, we've had a...
And there's rain.
Wait, there is rain now. There is rain now, so it will be Luke who will pick up the wet weather, who's boxed for full wets. What is going on here? You boxed for full wets?
It did.
Strange, but why not? Having a bit of fun in the final closing races. But AMS Knight finished P3, but for some reason the game has DNF'd him. He left too early, so the standings are a bit wobbly. So I'll try my best to try and call it out. Glitch 10, I think, inherited P5 though. P4 even. But we'll have to take a look as we get through to the final points positions. That was a very interesting race. Only 10 drivers making it to the track this evening. But those 10 drivers certainly brought some spicy entertainment.
Isis cannot do an interview of his mic is broken.
That is fine, but Leon winning for the first time in OTLR, certainly propelling him up the order and grabbing some much needed points. Takes P1, Oster P2, AMS Knight in P3, which will put Lugi in P4, Glitch 10 in P5, Tom H in P6, Andres P7, Luke in P8, Piney Penguin P9, AMS Knight does not count. It will be Sid in P10. So there is the little bit of a confusion with the finishing order. But it was a mighty fine race indeed. I shall bring us back to the commentator's booth while we look to set up for interviews. So get yourselves in the waiting room, chaps, and I shall drag you guys over for your pre-race interviews. But so far, that was a mighty fine race. Leon taking his first race victory. You are open for an interview. If you want one, mate, just join the interview room and we shall get you in. As well as Oster just snatching P2, keeping himself on the top spot in the driver's standings. And AMS Knight, again, another fast driver, propelling himself to P2 in standings. Keeps that P2 in standings after scoring P3. So we do have the race winner. And I will head us over to the interview room. So as we just hold out for a couple more minutes to see if anybody else would like to get into the interview room, into the comms room even,
so.
for an interview.
I don't think so. But I both and MZ Knight don't want to talk about the race because he failed it so badly, he said, and he don't want to talk about it, as we do have Leon here, the race winner.
Congratulations, Leon. You have scored your first victory in OTLR. You have been a driver who has certainly brought some spicy entertainment to the screen. We've had our eyes on you, especially from last race and the race before. Certainly bringing some entertainment, certainly getting yourself up in the order. But now you are on the top spot. You take a victory and propel yourself up the driver's standings and call yourself a race winner. Congratulations, mate. How was your qualifying? Let's have a bit of a rundown of that. How was you feeling heading into Spa today?
I mean, I was a bit nervous because I had no practice at all. I literally just jumped on, got the invite, jumped into qualifying. I struggled a bit on my lap, so I was a bit disappointed in that. Going into the race, I think I should say a thanks to Glitched, because I know he was battling with Knight and Oester. I think that's how you say it. So I think that kind of saved me. So yeah.
Well, you had lovely pace from the start of the race, and your qualifying was a good strong showing as well. Into turn one. Wow, you sent a really big dive to the Mercedes, managing to get that position on lap one. That was a beautiful overtake, mate. I give credit where credit is due, and you was noticed today. So that was a lovely move, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course, your race. How were you feeling in the race? Did you go in for a strategy? You're expecting the changing conditions. Did it really throw you off when the weather didn't really come?
Yeah, I was expecting it to come in that last two laps, but I was like, I'm just going to stay out on slicks no matter what. I've got the gap. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was a beautiful race. I'll pass you on to Rob if Rob's got any questions.
Did you know the rain was coming? Because it feels like Glitch, he pitted twice for the soft compound, so I'm guessing he was waiting for the rain. Were you or not?
I knew it was coming because I kept checking on the radio for the weather update, and it said like 15 minutes when it was at lap 15. So I was like, I don't think it's gonna come now. So yeah, so I stayed out.
Yeah, the rain kind of messed up some drivers, but
Mm.
getting that lead, it brought you a massive gap. But then the people behind you were fighting a lot. Was there much stress? You thinking they could catch up if they worked together or not?
Yeah, I was stressing quite a lot. Because obviously my tires were just cooked, so I was just stressing, and obviously I saw them battling, and I was like, I think I can do this.
All
Well,
right, well,
go on.
congrats.
Yeah,
Congrats on
thank you.
that win.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. That was beautiful racing from yourself, and congratulations on your first victory. Hopefully, the first of more to come, as we hope to see you in a lot more races here in OTLR. You're certainly setting some good pace and getting yourself into the fight quite a lot. So we love to see it. We love to see the competition, and we love to see fast drivers getting themselves in the battles. But again, congratulations, mate, and we shall see you in 2 weeks' time as we have
Yeah,
a break
see you in
week.
2 weeks. Yeah, thank you.
But that will do us, ladies and gentlemen. Only one driver showing up for an interview. I shall bring you back to the commentator's booth. But it was a mighty fine race indeed. A beautiful Belgium Grand Prix, if I say so myself. One of the races that is certainly a fan favourite track to drive. Not so much a driver favourite in terms of this game cycle. A couple of drivers not particularly fond of it. But it certainly brought a lot of fine action today. Even though we only had 10 drivers, it was a good 10 drivers racing with us. And on that note, we should take a quick look at the calendar once again as we take a week's break before we set sights on the Red Bull Ring. Austria, the track with the fewest amount of turns, she'll certainly bring some high speed action, some high adrenaline action, and the DRS, which Rob mentioned earlier, being a mighty weapon. The overspeed, it's just unreal. You become a missile on that straight up into turns 3, and of course you come out of turn 3 and get a dose of it once again. And then after that we move on to China, Jeddah, Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi, United Kingdom, Silverstone, and Sao Paulo to finish us off in Brazil. But on that note, I guess we'll see you next week. Oh no, we'll see you in 2 weeks. But peace out.